music and culture, and African music drumming. So it's a combination of various people. Basically, we're not giving you a finished product, but a process. In other words, you're going to be with us in the making of the music. So the whole idea is actually what we are doing in terms of the process, an experience of doing something. So you're going to be involved with us in the making of it. First, we had Bon Bon. It's basically an aspect of children ideas. And the Orobo of Nigeria basically look at music from different perspectives. We have music that deals with children, music that deals with old people and young people, music that deals with sex, separation of things only for women, only for men, and music that is basically for specific invocation of some gods. So we're going to start with the Bon 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 ceremony. And the dance class will start this basically children's game, and the children's game that takes place in playfulness and expression of that playfulness. The words are Bon 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 Ositaba. It's basically how to gather together and come together. The Ositaba is a word that helps the rhythmic part of it. Then the other word, Ebe Bomo Jeyon. So basically the text is Bon 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 Ositaba. Ebe Bomo Jeyon are the basis of the particular song. So let's start with group number 1, please. From here.
More before.
How are you doing? How's the thing?
Bum, 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 oh,
This drum is called a Donald drum. It's supposed to talk with it and send messages. So it has something to do with language. And it imitates the vocal cords. The next one, the coming of age. Usually, a coming of age is a very special dance because it actually is the kind of thing they do like a university. Every young man and woman are educated about their life before they do the dance. In other words, you're not permitted to do the dance before you go through training and understanding of your life history. So every little child actually, and every little, whether female or male, have to go through a fantastic education about what it is to be a woman, what it is to be a man, before they dance. So dance constitutes a university structure. In other words, to come to the dance, you've already undergone a fantastic education system. And you're not allowed to dance before you know that. You find a child understanding their particular religion and the religion of the neighboring town, or all their neighbors. So there is a tremendous educational meaning to the dance. And the dance in a village constitutes a university structure, basically. The rhythm for this starts, I'll have to give you the idea. Basically, the women who want to have a circular motion, it's very important that the women have a circular motion, the men have a singular line motion. So the basic movement is holding something behind you and throwing it like this. That jump, boom. Houston Bar. This is basically for the drum group. It's from Guinea, and well, I'll give you some ideas of the drumming here. Maybe you can bring in some to look forward here. Guinea is basically, the people in Guinea are known as the Malinke or the Maninke, tied up to the big Mande Empire. And the biggest empire is known as the Mali Empire of West Africa, that flourished in 1100 AD. It was a big Islamic empire, had a lot of universities, a lot of fantastic development of education in several cities like Timbuktu, like Jenne, basically like Al-Kanemi in Nigeria. So there were several universities that developed an interdisciplinary development in 1100 AD. And the Guinea people come actually from this area where universities have flourished with the interdisciplinary education between music and the sciences, music and mathematics, music and astrology, music and medicine and chemistry. So one of the things we're working here on is the characteristics of some of those rhythmic characteristics of the Malinke people or the Mandingo people of the Guinea area. The drumming here, I'm going to show a very simple pattern, and I'll explain it to you. The basic pattern is really simple. I'll give you just two rhythmic characteristics that interrelate to each other. One is very simple. It has a tone sound and a bass sound. Now, the rhythms are not meant to be just rhythm, but it has pitch consciousness and relationships. In other words, the relationship between one and the other creates a melodic, it's very subtle melodic relationship. The pitch quality has to come out with this drum here. This instrument here plays the basic beats overboard. Basically, in the traditions of the Malinke, it has a healing quality because the vibration is supposed to penetrate into the skin and causes some healing if it's played right. And it doesn't, you don't sing, you have to play the sound and control. So maybe we have this. So now we're going to start, I'll start the beat and give you the beginning of it. class is very anxious to do a little bit of an interview of the same similar patterns that we're going to do later here. The second one, maybe I'll do it right before after the camel man. The Sultan and the camel man. The Sultan, it shows a relationship. This takes place also as a children play in a village. And the village is in Upper Egypt. And it shows a conversation between a sultan, like a king, and a camel man, who's a very simple person. And the sultan comes in and asks the camel man, "Where are your camels?" And he said, "Well, they are there by the bridge." What these camels are doing? Well, they sit up on this beautiful landscape. Well, what you do with your camels? What do they eat? He said, well, they eat cornbread. They like cornbread. And what do they drink? Oh, he said, don't worry. They wait for the morning dew to come on the leaves, and they drink the morning dew from the leaves. And finally, it shows a relationship. He calls the camel man like his uncle. It shows a relationship between class relationship, but actually what the Sultan wanted was to get married. So suddenly he changed the subject and asked the camel man, "Have you got a bride for me?" So the entire villagers start dancing and celebrating and brought him a very beautiful girl to marry. Her name is Khadija, like the wife of the Prophet. And because, of course, Khadija was a great lady, and so they call her Khadija. And then they sing a song and they celebrate between local time and ancient gods. So they call upon the god Horus in the ceremony to come in and celebrate. So the camel man and the sultan, we start with the class here, and the part of the musicians here will be at the very end with the drum beats. Okay, I'm going to be the caller here. I'm here,
Nam Sultan
for it is called Etza, Etza, Etza. Basically, Etza, Etza, say it. Etza, 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 Etza. Okay, it's basic translation. It's an Amharic song from Ethiopia that young men and women dance together for actually basically to flirt and have good time. It's a social dance for young people to get together. And after which, of course, people have some idea how to choose a bride or a husband or somebody to get married to. So let's get started again with we have here somebody going to have one of the we made this from casks of beer bottles. I teach African music and culture, African music and dance, like you have in the program, African chamber music, African, and many people actually make their own instruments. And this is one of them. The drums here are replica of conga drums. Some of them are traditional, and some we are made ourselves. And this helps the dance. It doesn't have a lot of sound. The other one is the chorus, the single. And this is the basic fiddle. The origin of the violin, of course, comes from the Nile Valley. And the first spike fiddles comes from the Congo, the Nile, and Egypt. Egyptian fiddles, Ethiopian fiddles, and Congolese fiddles have a constant relationship on the Nile Valley. And these fiddles traveled to Europe and became the violin. And traditional sense of, this is Ghana, and in the traditional sense that when you have burials and coronations, basically music that is used sometimes for very serious occasions are used also for celebration, depending on the content and the time. Of course, if somebody dies that has lived a good life, people celebrate and drink and have good time because man died living behind him everything in good shape and lived a good life. Basically, this deals with a relationship with a story of a man who behaves like a king but is not a king, and do a lot of havoc, and so the society sort of tells him, you better behave right, you better go through the death and revival like the king does, and therefore organized social idea of life and the idea of conception of humility and what the king's position in the Ashanti society. Ashanti kings are very humble. Supposedly, people can flood them, touch them from the people. So the king is really out of the people. He's not a king of the, he's not over the people. And this coronation and burials reflect this idea. The story about the song is called Adu E Boyen Jiao. It's a man who runs back and forth and creates a lot of running and things, thinking that he's like a king. So now we're going to start. All the classes are going to participate in this particular one. Burials and coronation and Ashanti Ghana. And we're going to start with Sa, then bringing in the next person, and then the Adu and the dance group, the dancer. Oh, before you come in, just a minute, we have to start some music. After we start with Take a breath, have some water. The next set is from Zulu. We're going to combine in this one a Mande and a Zulu dance. The Zulu dance is about warriors.
Oh, yeah?
The position of the warrior. Actually, what I say here, at wartime, love your enemy, is a Zulu saying. The Zulu people usually say that. In other words, according to Zulu tradition, you actually, when you fight and you confront your enemy and you capture your enemy, you don't kill them. As a matter of fact, you have to let them escape and let them go, because if you kill them, it's a sign of cowardness, and the Zulu don't like, or a sign of crime, as a matter of fact. So according to the Zulu tradition, confrontation at war, you have to confront your enemy face to face. Never confront your enemy from the back or surprise. So you have to really fight face to face and equal power. You don't have to overpower your enemy. And it's the warrior becomes a very important person of the society. And here we're going to do a Mande prelude to the warriors of the Zulu. So I'm going to have here is a dance class that's going to do a harvest dance, protected on the outside by occasional war dances of the Zulu. And I'm going to lead that war dance and have people do both. So we're going to do a Mande, basically a Mande dance of Sierra Leone with a Zulu warrior around it. The dance movement is basically you go down and you pick up your tools and you go harvesting. So the movement of the dance is basically you feel your weight down and you pick up the tools. The movement of African dance is basically a weight to the ground. It's a grounding force. You ground your body, and the movement of the body is always grounded. And it's mostly around the hips and the stomach and the knees rather than the top part of the body. So it doesn't, in ballet you extend the top part, but here you actually work around your body, bottom parts, and anchoring yourself into the ground. So basically we'll start, some of you coming in for the Zulu dance. I mean for the Mande dance. We're going to start with the group here. They're going to go down and pick up their tools, all of them here before they come into the middle. Just start there, all of them. Going down. I want everybody in the dance. And lifting your tools. And you're going to harvest and worship to the ancient gods in the south region of Ethiopia. And they go there and respond to the spirits of the mountains. And they sing and celebrate. This will involve basically the music class and the dance class and the drumming class at the very end. So most of the classes will participate in this particular one, Mountains and Spirits of the Gala people of Ethiopia. Ethiopia had three major groups, the Amhara, the Tigray, and the Gala. The Gala are mostly in the south, and they used to have an old kingdom, the Gala kingdom in the south, all of them, and Haile Selassie was basically, I think he was partially Gala and Amharic, and he ruled as the emperor of Ethiopia. The Gala has a very interesting social system. They have a political system of rotation of presidents. In other words, they rotate the entire Gala land until today, have a very traditional political system that allows for rotation of region and rotation of people every 8 years. So the government and the location of the head city or the head government or the head office of the government rotates every 8 years. So it has a very highly, probably a very fantastic democratic system as a traditional political system of Africa exists today in Gala, part of Ethiopia. I remember when I lived there, Emperor Haile Selassie visited the area. It was back in the 60s. And they give him a chance to lecture them. And after he finished, they asked him to sit down so they can lecture him. And that kind of relation. So the head of the Gala lectured the emperor of the entire country. So the emperor himself, even though he ruled over the country, he could not really tell the Gala people how to run their affairs in that particular region of the Gala. So this is a very old civilization, Mountains and Spirit of the Gala of Ethiopia. on, we have a little bit of dance and break dancing. We have here. Break dancing, of course, started in Africa. One of the places that started is in Nigeria. I think the Igbos are great. The Igbos of Nigeria are great break dancers. And so we're going to play an Igbo. We have here Martin the Boogie. Where's Martin? Yeah, you can tell us about it. You're a Igbo and you know Atilogo. Yeah, Atilogo is a break dance, isn't it? A tremendous amount of
acrobatic dance, actually.
Acrobatic dance.
It's for young boys. It's mainly for boys. Girls don't dance Atilogo. It's just acrobatic display. Normally between 12 years and 17 years.
But since we are a unisex society, so we're going to have some of the girls not break dance, but participate in the dance, all right? So, where is Ugo? Are you still injured? Yeah. Okay. This is our break dancer here. He's going to do the break dance. going to be a solo type, a group type playing. Batakoto is an example of music that is basically religious music and at the same time used secularly. Batakoto is the music of Shango. And if you are in Nigeria or Brazil, the same music is played to call upon the god of fire or the god of thunder. If you remember the earthquake we had, it's because we were playing Batakoto. And if you play it right, it happens. If you don't play it right, it doesn't happen. So you're not going to play it right. The idea of Batakoto is that the rhythm has to be just very accurate, and the pitches has to be just right, and the quality of relationship just perfect. It's like a formula, a chemical formula. When it happens right, then bang, the thunder will come down, and you'll have a big flood, or rain will come down, and you'll have plenty of harvest. So, Batakoto, I'll give you an idea about the rhythm here that we will play, and maybe you can play it together. The basic rhythm is one, we have everybody participate. In the spelling of this is D-H-I-K-R, dhikr. Invocation and reception in Nubian Egypt. This is basically a song, a welcome song in Upper Egyptian type of welcome. The tradition in that particular part of Egypt is that when a visitor comes, your name is retained in the song. And so if you visit, let's say, today, and you come back 50 years from now, or 20 years from now, you'll hear the song including your name, including the name and what you did when you visited. So it has the song has a tremendous historical significance. Basically, African songs has tremendous historical. It's much more accurate than history books, because history books are written with very subjective approaches to the study. But usually in songs, is a whole kind of chronology, because songs tell what happens. And the same melody would be kept on for years after years, telling what happens in the song. That's one way Alex Haley was able to find some of his history, through the griots of Gambia, and played the musical instruments known as historians. So this dhikr is basically an invocation, and you can participate in it. Maybe after we start, I'll have everybody do something here. So the drummers have to carry the drums on the back, and we start after we start the drums. This is a 13